Hey, beauties. Good evening to everybody. Beautiful people, my heart is so saddened. I was on a live, not too long ago, and I was listening to somebody basically giving their young girl giving her testimony about just her black complexion. And over the years, over the decades, over the centuries, we're not talking about other ethnicities, whites, Japanese, Chinese, Syrians, Jews, whatever it is, outside of the black ethnic group where, for example, if you say to somebody, boy, I can say that, you're really from the black descent, your ancestors are really and truly black people, and so on, you're really authentically black, they will almost be offended by that. It is as though you have said something bad. It is as though you have created a vitriol, pronounced a curse on them. In other words, if you say to somebody you're black, they will tell you, no, we're not. Many of us, I've heard people saying it, that, most of us are not fully black, we're mixed with this, that, and the third, with white, with Syrian, with Chinese, with Japanese, and you hear all of this because look at my nose, look at my mouth, look at my eyes, and, and I'm saying, I doubt it very much that when you speak with the other ethnic groups, the other, what you call race is always really one race, the human race, I doubt if you hear them having that sort of argument, that sort of discussion, telling you that, oh, I'm mixed with a little Japanese, I'm mixed with a little Chinese. They just said I'm white. The others say I'm Chinese, I'm black, I'm Japanese, I'm Syrian, whatever it is, except for the black race. We have been so tainted from slavery days, not only by the white man, not from Bakra Master, but also from our own selves, that the self-hate is so real that one woman was giving her testimony that he started treating, and he's extremely dark, where you would say pop bottom when it burn up dark, but you would say midnight dark, tar black dark skin, and she's lighter than he is. And he said, that some women said to him, don't date her because she's black, or very dark, I should say, because she's not fair skinned, what Jamaicans would call brown. And you said to yourself, what a very sad situation. This is so sad, that the man started to treat her really and truly badly because of that. When I look and observe, a number of our artists, our local artists here in Jamaica, even if they're very dark skinned and of the full black ancestry, like you can say that this is truly an authentic black man. When I look at their spouses, whether wife or girlfriends or fiancés, or you said to yourself, you realize that slavery has really created a lot of damage, because you cannot say to me that all of them, not barring none, that none of them fall in love with a woman who look like an authentic black woman, big nose, big lips, very, very dark skin, dark like tar, like midnight. And so what has happened, because they don't want people to create a backlash or to to put them down or to make them feel less than or to hurt their ego and say, what kind of woman that you have dating? How she black, big, fat, black and ugly? So she ugly, man? Like, really? And you can't take that sort of heat. So what you do, you take up somebody that looks good, the trophy wife, the trophy girlfriend, notwithstanding the character is not necessarily synonymous with their looks. So sometimes they have the beautiful look on the outside, but the character leaves much to be desired. And this is a big part and parcel as to why many relationships are not working. And I've heard people look on and say, my God, what a beautiful girl like that. How is it that she's married 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times? Or a very handsome man like that, how is he married 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times? Not understanding it's about the character. We have not been trained to look at people through the lens of character. Not reputation, because reputation is what you perceive somebody to be. Your character is who the individual truly is, or who the people truly are, And that has created a lot of mayhem in the black community. The divorce rate is very, very high. The separation rate in terms of, dating different women, a plethora of women, because what has happened is that people are not dating for character purposes, they're dating for looks, they're dating to get some sort of validation from their friends. I've seen it. I know if a man was dating a woman and because she wasn't a beauty queen, it wasn't so much only on the complexion but the look, she didn't have the European features, it's what people call very ugly, but she had a good character, bright, educated, and he ended the relationship because he was getting a lot of backlash on the basis of her looks, and I've never seen him get into a relationship ever since, or I think he did, but it was awful, horrid. It was terrible, you know, and until we really and truly emancipate ourselves from serious mental slavery. It is serious imprisonment to think that your life will, is successful when you have by what the world call in terms of universal standard beauty, within complexion and in look, and the character is worse than just having cockroaches permeating your entire home, scorpions permeating your entire homes. It's about character. It's not so much about complexion. Yes, one of the sad realities that I too have faced and I've tried to understand is I find that people who are extremely dark, because of what has happened to them, they have been treated poorly. What the enemy has done is, as he has brought to my sphere, and I've heard people saying it, the broken ones, the ones filled with self-hate, brokenness. So they're not nice, and you start to begin to wonder if that mantra that has been promulgated, and let me not say mantra, that jargon, that cliche has been promulgated, that anything that is black is not too good, or anything too black not good, something like that. I remember growing up hearing, and I've had to strip my mindset of thinking like that to say, no, it is about the character of the individual, not so much about the complexion. There was a point in which I was fearful, whether in befriending or, dating somebody that was because it is as though the enemy decided to send them my way, the ones who are really broken, because you have ones who are not, who are very confident in their complexion, they're confident in themselves. Yes, they've been torn down, they've been told the worst things possibly thought about, but they've heard all those obstacles. I've come across people who are what you call light-skinned, fair-skinned, beautiful, and they're horrible people. Their character is horrible, terrible. People that you don't want to be around. So if you're going to road with that, we have to road with it too. But if you're going to say anything where black no good, black and brown is the same race. But if you're going to dissect it and split it in terms of complexion, it's the same. It's just about how you are grown up, the standards and the principles that you subscribe to, that you advocate. It is not so much about your complexion. It is about who you decide to be. You have to love yourselves. And by the way, let me put this in. You say the darker your skin is, the more of the melanin you have. You're able to withstand against, those fruit, when it is properly curated, or whatever the right word is for fruit, they stay long, they don't spoil easily, even when they're on the outside and not refrigerated or not frozen. That is, I found that people who are extremely dark skinned, I don't know what it is, like age, no like, No, seriously, age. Say, no, I'm afraid of them one here. Me not gonna really go near them for now. So no care if them 100 them look like them about 60. No care if them 100 them look like them about 60, the darker you are, because there's like your melanin holds steadfast, unmovable. You can't shake it. The foundation is formidable. It is not like the Jericho wall. The Jericho wall seemed formidable, but when they marched around 7 times, it was torn. No care them march around and not tear down. Check it out. People who are very dark skinned whole youth much longer, unless you're sick or you're evil or you're wicked. Outside of those parameters, if you're a fairly decent person, because we're not perfect beings, they tend to hold youth much longer. So I don't know if you could just bask in that beauty, bask in that bliss. Many of you would begin to respect, people who may not fit the European standards, whether they have thick lips, big nose, big eyes. Look at the character. Nobody's not saying that you must go for somebody who looks horrid and you're not attracted to. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's something. It tells a story that something is wrong with us as a people. Especially if you're very popular or you're wealthy, that you never find anybody where, like you'd say, big fat black and ugly, big nose, big lips, that you fall in love with. You mean to say none of them are nice? Come on, something is wrong. Come on, think about it. Anyway, we pray that things will change. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please.